Holy smokes. Okay. Hey everybody, this is Peter Simeti from Alterna Comics. Thank you for joining tonight. Uh, I'm gonna start off the bat by, man, my heart's pounding through my chest.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So, this is a video I definitely did not want to make. This is really a terrible situation. So, the clip you saw was from a previous incident. It isn't even what happened this time. This good man, this Peter Simeti, has been put through all kinds of harassment for no good reason, over and over again. And you know what his crime is? His supposed crime that has people swatting him and harassing him nonstop? He publishes comics, and really good comics at that. So he is the publisher, he runs Alterna Comics, and he gives artists and writers and creators a chance to have their books published. In the case, like with Exilium, that was already in a market like Australia, but it wasn't in America. It wasn't in a bigger market. He gave them that opportunity, and people like me now have read Exilium and love it. But with other books too, that was their first creator-owned thing, their first ever comic book. There's tons of people, their first creation to have published and be on the shelves at comic book shops. Artists and writers who were given opportunities and lifted up by Peter Simeti personally, and Alterna Comics. That's all he did, I'm just trying to establish for people who don't understand the situation that he's a really good man. And I have no reason to not think anything other than that. From everything I've seen from him, I've watched his live streams, I talked to him a little bit on Twitter and whatnot. I'm not trying to be like a fanboy or something, but this is really bullshit, honestly, the way he's been treated. We have this culture where I don't know, people think it's okay to dox people, they think it's okay to swat people, and that's what happened in this instance. So the clip I showed at the beginning is actually about when he went through a bunch of the last time. I'm going to include a link to that full live stream in the description box, because you should definitely check it out if you want to, if you have the time. I mean, it's a 3-hour stream, but really, Peter Simeti opens up his heart in that stream, and really, you get a good feel for who the man is. And honestly, okay, look, he gives creators opportunities they would have never had on their own, and he gives readers a really fair comic at a really good price. Like Exilium, I think it was like 40 pages, and I got it for just over $1. I got them on sale, but I mean, even the cover price is $1.50, so come on. But yeah, what happened this time, and like this just happened, so I haven't gone through and watched this most recent live stream, but what I understand is he was on a live stream with another person who I think very highly of. He goes by at Second Prince on Twitter, or he goes by DMI. But anyways, he is a comic book shop owner. So check it out. You have a publisher and a comic book shop owner talking on a live stream. Like, that is, if to the outside world, that's the most mundane thing in the world. Like, it just I don't like the term normie, but just to the normal person who isn't like a comic book fan, who isn't invested in Comicsgate or any of the SJWs or Alterna versus, And that's the thing I don't get, too, is people have singled out Alterna and attacked them because Peter Simeti and Alterna haven't denounced any of their fans for having political beliefs that, like, they don't care. They're just like, you want to buy my comic, here you go. And you don't see Taco Bell or whoever, Walmart, they don't check and see who you voted for when you're buying tomatoes or a hamburger or a taco. So the whole reason they don't like him is just simply for not coming out and denouncing certain segments of his fan base and people that buy his books, which I don't think anyone should be forced to do if they're a business person. Like, the profit margins are very small. So what we really need to address is what most recently happened. He was talking on a live stream, and the police showed up. So again, this is the culture we have of people thinking it's okay to swat people. This happened a lot in Gamergate, and it happens all the time to prominent people like YouTube, bigger YouTubers than me. Fortunately, I'm small enough that I fly under the radar, but this kind of thing happens all the time. So at least two police showed up, and this is what Peter Simeti himself posted on Twitter. He said, "I just had 2 guns pointed at me tonight. because someone had made a call to the police and gave them my address along with a falsified report. I'm shook up, but everything is okay now, and I'm going to talk to the police tomorrow to see if I can find out more. So yeah, he says he's okay now. You know, Peter's a tough guy, but still, this isn't really anything anyone should have to go through. And he goes on to talk about how professional the police were, which is another reason I think the situation didn't go as bad as it could have. I mean, who would do this to someone, honestly? You're wasting the police's time at the very least, and you're potentially causing someone to be hurt, and then that's gonna make the police feel guilty too, and it's a mess. So Mr. Simeti goes on to say, I was going to go back on and continue with another stream, but we're a bit of a mess over here, and I'll be back on later when things have calmed down. And he goes on to say, I'm grateful that the police were thorough and quickly assessed the situation. You see, they were thorough. They checked everything. Peter's fine. You know, he doesn't break the law. He's not a criminal. This guy, he probably spends, not probably, he literally spends like 18 hours a day shipping out comic books and talking to creators. And he still does live streams for fans. You know, I've watched a few of them. I even did a highlight video of it where they took a question of mine. I talked to Luke Harelli. His first name escapes me, but David, I think. David Lucarelli. So that was really cool. He took a few questions from me and answered them. I thought that was really nice. So yeah, I included a video about that. But that's the sort of thing they do over there at Alterna. You know, the guy, the dude who runs the company, hangs out with people who write and draw the comics on live streams and take questions from the people who buy their books. So it's just a really cool, fun little company, and it sucks how it's being attacked at its core. So one last thing here is there is an update from Peter Simeti. When I started making this video, it had only been up for a minute. So this is about 2 or 3 hours after really this all started going down. And Peter Simeti says, according to the police, an anonymous caller pretending to be me called up and said that I had stabbed my girlfriend and that I was suicidal. Oh man. And they gave the cops Peter Simeti's name and address, and the sergeant gave me his card, and I will be giving them a call tomorrow. So he's going to call the sergeant in the morning. That's just horrifying. I mean, really, I'm at a loss for words. I know I said a lot, but it's just unbelievable. You know, I've seen various swatting incidents just online and seen it happen to various people, and it just happens time and time again. One of these times someone is going to, not walk away from it, and it's really not acceptable. Like, it's no matter how much you disagree with someone, that is not acceptable. And Peter Simeti didn't do anything wrong, So I wish I didn't have to make this video, but I felt compelled to. But what you can do is support Alterna. They've got so many good books, it's crazy. And they're only $1.50 each if you pay the cover price. So if I remember all my links, I'll put a link to their Etsy store in the description box, or you can just, check them out at your local comic book shop. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I stand with Peter Simeti and Alterna Comics. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.